What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to all of my subscribers, my day ones from A1s, those of you who have just recently subscribed. I welcome you to the family, and if this is your first time checking out my content, and you like what you hear, please make sure you join the family by subscribing, liking, and sharing the video. Moving right along, I know I had some issues with my audio on the last video, so I'm working on trying to figure out what's going on with my audio because I brought a brand new mic, so I don't know if it's the type of mic I have or if it has something to do with my laptop. So anyway, if anybody can give me some advice on audio, I would gladly appreciate it. You can also email me at cafedeparis79 at yahoo.com, because I do want my audios to improve and I need to know what I am doing wrong. So, if y'all have any advice to share with me on how to, get better audio performance, please let a sister know because I'm not very high tech savvy. Okay. I had to do a content on this due to the fact that I am so sick of black women embarrassing themselves. I'm tired of sisters embarrassing themselves. And it has gotten to a point now to where, I can't even fault any of these brothers. I can't even fault these dating coaches. I can't even hold any grudges against these dating coaches or these men in the black YouTube sector that are constantly, going in on black women because we give them so much leverage to be able to do that just based on the way we carry ourselves, the way we conduct ourselves, and the ignorant things that we say and do. Black women, we are making ourselves become the target of mockery. We're not becoming a commodity to black men. We're becoming a mockery to black men. And it is our own fault. It's our fault. And I'm going to go in deep in this content and I'm going to break down the elements as to why it is our fault that we as black women, we have become the joke of the fact that we have constantly and consistently been failing ourselves. We have become the butt of jokes. We have become the mockery. We have become the new minstrel. For those of you who are not familiar with the minstrel, back during the Jim Crow era, and when we had all the segregation and separation, remember when white folks used to act like black folks in the movies when they would do black faces and they would paint themselves black, and they had they were portraying black actors to be goofy, to basically be ignorant and basically be jokes. You had a lot of the white people during that time and era that was making a mockery out of black people, and they portrayed us in the way that they perceived us. Which is why, if you look at any of the old minstrel shows, and you can YouTube that, you will see how, when they portrayed us, they made us look very ignorant and they made us look very, dumb. And I feel like now, black women, we have become the new era of the new minstrel show. We're becoming a mockery. And again, I don't blame the black men and I don't blame these dating coaches. I blame us because we keep putting ourselves in the same predicament over and over and over, and we're not learning. So I want to kind of address this issue. I'm not going to say the individual's name because I don't believe in mentioning names to earn views, to earn subscribers. To me, that's another form of clout chasing. And I notice there's been a lot of content creators, a lot of black female content creators that keep saying this certain individual's name, who's a very popular dating coach. His channel has become very phenomenal. He's doing very well, and out of respect, I'm not going to say his name on my platform and I'm not going to put it in my title because to me it's clout chasing. And it's a lot of sisters that are clout chasing, by using this man's name on their platform and in their title because some of them co-sign with his advice to black women and others, most of them, are against. his advice with black women. So I'm not, I'm just not going to disclose his name, but I will say everybody should be familiar with him, and you don't have to put his name in the chat, but we know he's become the new uh dating coach for black women, and a lot of black women have been calling into the show asking for his advice, and he has recently, like I said, his name is definitely progressing. A lot of people in the Facebook, on social media, are getting hip to him, and so his popularity, he's definitely gaining a lot of notoriety. Can't hate on that. If I wanted to say anything negative about him, if I had anything negative to say, the only negative thing I have to say is that, a lot of the things he's been saying, a lot of advice he's been giving, it's been a lot of people already been doing that. I, for one, I have been one. I have been, if you look at a lot of my old videos from the beginning when I started this journey, I've always told black women about choosing men who they want as their type, but they're not that man's type. I've always spoke on this, and if I had anything negative to say, that's the only thing. If I would have to say, is that he's not really saying anything other people have not already addressed. But what makes him more, what makes him more, what's the word? What makes him more um brilliant is the fact that he knew how to give advice, but he knows how to finesse it. He was able to specialize in finessing the game, and you can't do nothing but give props to that. You know what I mean? And anybody who's hating on the brother for how successful his channel is going, then you got a personal problem. You know what I mean? So only if you got a problem with how the man is progressing the game, either, don't be intimidated, be inspired. Be inspired, like, damn, I think this is something I might need to start doing. Maybe I need to start date coaching. As black men and black women, we don't have to hate on one another. You can take that same platform and you can finesse it in your own special way. It's enough bread out here for everybody. It's enough out here for everybody to win. So we don't have to be hating on a man or hating on another sister that's progressing in the YouTube sector. Just support from a distance, and or either you can start your own movement and do the same thing. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be shading the man or going into his comments, um, posting all type of negative things and bringing negative energy or whatever, just be inspired. Don't be intimidated. You feel me? So I definitely have to give him a lot of props on how well he's doing right now. I just wish that more people notice that is he has not been the only one doing it. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of people that's been doing that, and they haven't been getting a standing ovation. They haven't been getting a lot of views and subscribers. So that's my only little thing. If I had anything negative to say, but other than that, I can't knock it. So anyway, I really want to stay on point with this subject about how black women keep embarrassing themselves. First of all, you have sisters who are calling these shows seeking advice, calling these dating coaches that have already proven that uh 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 they don't have a problem with, making a mockery out of you. Now, that's just my opinion. And even then I try to be careful because this is the other point I wanted to address. Let me say this first. Black women, for one, the reason we are embarrassing ourselves, and again, I can't get mad at the dating coaches or the black men, we are embarrassing ourselves due to the fact that we are calling and reaching out to these dating coaches knowing already that they're not going to have an issue with stomping on your pride and belittling you. And this may not be because they get a thrill out of sabotaging your character, but when you open the door, you set yourself up for whatever comes your way. So when you call these shows, when you call in to these dating coaches, and they tell you that you're average, they'll tell you that you are below the totem pole, you set yourself up to be ridiculed. That's not his fault. That's not nobody's fault but yours. Because as a grown ass woman, you should have enough common sense to be able to figure out what it is that you are doing wrong that's causing you to meet the type of men that you're meeting. It should not take you having to call into a show to find out what the hell is wrong with you. Well, I make six figures and I can't understand why I haven't been able to find the right kind of man who is on my level and this, and that, and the third. You set your own self up. Because let me tell you something. I don't see any of these brothers up here calling black women on their shows and saying, what do I need to do as a black man to make myself more appealing to black women? I don't see black men up here calling black women, no matter how much she feels like she's a expert in telling black men how to better themselves. I don't see any of these brothers up here doing it. And they are smart. They are smart. None of these black men are up here calling sisters who they know already got a problem with black women. You don't see no brothers up here about to call in on no show and talk to no black woman and ask her, well, what is wrong with me? I have not been able to find a good black woman. I don't know if while I'm struggling trying to find a woman who is going to sincerely love me for me, what am I doing wrong? I don't see brothers reaching out to us, asking us what we are doing wrong. And you know why? Because they're smart enough to know that if I call a sister, she's not going to give me advice from a good place. She's going to give me advice from a bitter place, from a broken place. She's going to use me reaching out to her as a weapon to basically attack my character as a black man. So this is where black men once again have proven that they are wiser than us when it comes to how they deal with their problems. Men don't do what we do. Men, like I said, men ain't up here calling other black women and asking, what do I need to do to fix my life? What men do that differs from what we do, they either try to work on themselves to where they can get to that level, to where they can, get to that level and be able to make themselves compatible for the woman they really want. Meaning, if he knows he wants this 10, he's got to step his game up and make himself a 10. Okay, he knows if he wants a certain type of woman, there are certain things he has to do or certain things he has to be able to bring to the table in order for him to attract that certain type of woman he wants. In other words, if a man knows he wants a certain woman, he's going to level up on that. Okay, women on the other hand, we don't have the gift of trying to level up. Instead, what we do is we walk around here feeling sorry for ourselves, trying to figure out what we're doing wrong, and we're going to all these different places to get advice, not understanding that it does not matter how much advice people give you unless you're willing to make the change, unless you have psychologically dealt with your demons in your closet. Psychologically, you have conquered all of your mental illnesses and your mental battles. It doesn't matter what type of advice you get from anybody, which bring me to my next point. A lot of us as black women are calling and reaching out to these men, reaching out to these dating coaches, even reaching out to some of these female dating coaches. The bottom line is, I guarantee you, these same women who call into this individual show, they're not going to change anything about themselves. As black women, we set ourselves up for failure each and every single time. 9 times out of 10, when you go on these shows, when you call into these shows, it's about attention. It's about getting clout. That's the thing about it. I've gotten to the point now where these women don't really want advice. They want attention. That's what it's all about. It's all about clout chasing. So what we're doing now, you have a lot of sisters that are going to the popular sectors, calling in like they need advice, like they really, want to work on themselves. They're putting up this front like they're willing to be transparent and be open about, their faults and their flaws. And meanwhile, they're making a mockery out of themselves. Anytime as a grown ass woman, you got to call and ask another grown ass man for advice on what another grown ass woman needs to do, something is already telling me you're mentally challenged. Because I'm a 41-year-old grown woman. I should not have to call another grown man who's not going to be able to really relate to all of every fiber in my being as a woman. And it's the God's honest truth. That is why men don't reach out to women as often about advice, because a man knows that we as women, we can't really relate to the elements of what a black man really has to go through. So this is why you don't have a lot of black men that are going to go on a sister's platform or call in and ask questions like, what do I need to do as a black man? Because he already feels that we cannot even relate to them. And that's understandable. A lot of black men are not going to reach out to black women because they feel like, for one, you are a woman. Okay, that's already struck against you. So you can't walk in my shoes as a man. And for two, you're a black woman, which means you're 9 times out of 10, you're already bitter or you already got other issues going on. So I don't feel comfortable reaching out to you and seeking your advice about what I need to do as a black man to make myself more of a high value black man for a black woman. You're not going to see brothers doing that. And that's smart on their behalf. Now, we as black women, we are the ones that are coming off as the weakest link. We are the ones that are embarrassing ourselves because I don't care how much advice another man gives you. He really cannot relate to you as a black woman because his struggles are different from yours. So it does not matter how much advice some of these men give you. It's only natural for them to be harsh and be very strongly direct to a degree because he's speaking from a masculine place. He's speaking from a place of authority. So if you're meeting a dating coach and he's telling you you're average, you're this, you're that, keep in mind that he's not going to be sensitive. He's not going to be nurturing because he's speaking from a place of masculinity. And as a man, I know because my husband the same way, men are not going to pamper your femininity as much as we would want them to. And it's not their fault. Is that they are different creatures compared to us. So men are not going to rub us on our back and tell you, you're really a beautiful woman. But what you need to do is you need to work on your inner being. They're not going to come at us in this Ralph Tresvant, Mr. Sensitivity type of way if that's what you're looking for. Okay. Not only that, you have had some black men that have gone through so much bullshit with black women. The moment a black woman reaches out to them and asks them questions, reaches out and wants to get advice, they don't have a problem with mentally badgering you to a certain degree because they perceive you the same way as they perceive the other black women they have gone through, they have been with. It's unfortunate that a lot of us as black women, or the good black women, are paying the price for the ratchet ones, or the feminist black women out there who are always, belittling black men. It's a lot of us as black women, we're paying the price for that. So even if you are a black woman that's coming from a good place and you're reaching out to another black man because you sincerely really want help, you sincerely want to change yourself, he's still not going to be very convincing because there's so many ratchet sisters out here that have outnumbered good quality black women. So even if you if you reach out and you seek advice, he's going to think you have some type of hidden agenda. He's going to think you're clout chasing. He's going to think you're seeking attention. He's going to think the worst of you as a black woman because he's been exposed to nothing but the worst of black women. And whatever you're exposed to, that is what's really going to change your ideology about how you perceive certain things or how you perceive certain individuals. So keep in mind that When you reach out to these dating coaches, you're really taking a chance because you really don't know where he or she, because you got some black female coaches, dating coaches out there in the YouTube sector too. You really don't know if they're giving advice from a bitter place, a place of rejection, or a place of animosity towards black women. For instance, this is why I say men are wiser than us. If I, as a black woman, I have a platform where I'm always dogging black men. Okay? I'm always talking shit about black men. I'm always belittling black men. And I'm always giving advice to black women about how no good black men are, about how we need to swirl, we need to expand our options. I'm constantly anti-black man. Do you really think it doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure this out? Do you think any black men are going to feel comfortable with coming to my platform and asking me my advice on any goddamn thing? Do you really think any of these brothers out here, if they felt I was anti-black man type of sister, do you really think they will feel comfortable even coming to me about anything? First of all, they're not even going to be subscribed to my channel. They're not even going to come in my chat room. They're not going to come nowhere near my platform. They're not going to live stream with me or anything because in their mind, they already know what kind of sister I am just by the way I speak so ill of them. And this is where I say, black women, you are constantly becoming an embarrassment because you are going places in which you already know it's certain individuals that already got a problem with you. Period. Point blank. And I had to find that out the hard way. Some sisters out there, some, not all, who are at a loss and they have reached a point when they are in the middle of the crossroads. So they're realizing everything I'm doing is not working. What am I doing wrong? So they're getting to a point, not the attention seeking sisters. I'm talking about the ones who really want love, who really want a companionship and trying to figure out what the hell am I doing wrong? So they're reaching out and going to certain places and trying to seek advice, because they genuinely want help. They have reached a level of desperation. They realize everything they're doing is not working. They have tried plastic surgery. They have changed their hair. They done bleached their skin. They have done all of these things and still cannot find themselves appealing to getting a man that's really best for them. So they get to a point to where, okay, they realize they have to get advice, basically. So these same women will turn around and call these certain individuals, and you're not realizing the person that's probably giving you advice, they could be saying the right thing, but to me, I've always been one, I'm not a tunnel vision type of person. I look at things from several different areas before I go into it. It's not always what people say, even if they're saying the right thing, even if they're giving you the right advice. My thing is, why are they saying it? Or do you really, really want to help broken black women out here who don't want attention? They really want that advice? Or are you willing to open Pandora's box because maybe you've been one of those type of guys, you've had a large substantial amount of rejection from black women. And now that you are in a better place where black women no longer have that same advantage to reject you because you're successful now, you're making more money now, you're not that broken better male that you once was when you was on a low level before you got successful. Now this is your chance to retaliate and make black women feel small because that's how they used to make you feel back in the day before you got to the point now to where you're successful now, you're big enough now to where you can return the favor by making black women feel small. Because you have a lot of sisters who do that. You have some sisters who have had their share of rejection with black men, who have not been able to find an ideal companion within a black man. So because as younger black women, they have had so much rejection from black men, or been ridiculed by black men. Now that they are older, grown black women, now all of a suddenly they want to give advice to other sisters on how they need to date outside their race, how they need to date other men, all because you're still holding your feelings hostage from a time in which you were rejected by the same black men that you once upon a time desired, that did not desire you. So my thing is, you have people out there that give really good advice, but my thing is, where are you getting this advice from? Are you getting it from a place of, now you feel like you are equipped to give all this advice, but where are you? What's motivating you to want to be a dating coach? Or are you using this to really try to help black women or black men better themselves? Or are you using this as a sense of retaliation from how you were treated from the opposite sex coming up? Because you have to be careful. Like I said, people could give the right advice, but you have to, it's not always what they're saying, is why they're saying it. Because again, it's sisters out here who do it. They want to tell other black women, it's sisters in the YouTube sector that claim to be dating coaches, that want to tell other black women, you need to swirl, you need to date outside of your race. But she's telling you that because of her own personal issues with black men were negative. And you have a lot of dating coaches out there that are giving the opposite sex advice, and it's not from a good place. It's from a broken place. Like, I don't have a problem telling a black man, you're below average. You ain't shit. You ain't nobody. You're not qualified alpha material from the black woman. If all I had was negative experiences from black men, I ain't got a problem with telling a black man what he needs to do to better himself. This is my moment. This is my opportunity to take all of my poisonous venom out on personal shit I have gone through with other black men. And I'm using that to attack him. And he's thinking that I'm really giving him advice when really I'm using all of what I have gone through. And I'm using it against him. And he's thinking that I'm giving him advice from a genuine place, when really I'm giving him advice based on how other black men have treated me, if that makes any sense to anybody. So my thing is, black women, I blame y'all. Y'all are the ones that are embarrassing yourselves, reaching out to other men who really don't know a whole lot about you. They only know based on the 5 or 10 minutes of the information you've given them. They already have you all figured out just within that 10 minutes frame. And that's your fault, because you're putting yourself out there. You're putting all your business out there. You're putting it out there on how much you have done for men, on how much money you make, and how much you have accomplished, and you can't understand why you can't meet a good man and all this. It's common sense. A lot of us as black women, we already know what we're doing wrong. We already know why we can't meet good black men. It shouldn't take another grown man to tell you why you're not meeting the kind type of man that you want. For one, it don't take a rocket scientist to tell you or for you to figure it out. You don't need a book. You don't need a dating coach. You don't need to go to Dr. Phil show. It's common sense. It doesn't take, even Ray Charles can see. You cannot expect a man to bring something to the table that you don't have. This is, anybody saying that, that's nothing magical. This common sense. You can't have 5, 6 kids and then you want a man who don't have no children. You can't be a woman that's working at McDonald's, but you want to marry a lawyer or a doctor. For one, You don't even travel. Y'all don't even travel the same circle. Y'all not even within the same social sector for you to be looking for a man that's way beyond your status level. One thing I can say, this is where men differ from women. Men are smarter than women because, first of all, ain't too many men. You have a few better males, but for the most part, ain't too many men who know they are in a struggle. For instance, you may meet an average black man who's working, making a decent living from paycheck to paycheck, but he pays his bills, he takes care of his children, he owns a nice home. In other words, he's maintaining, okay? But he is not no lawyer, he's not no doctor, he's not no celebrity, he's not a producer, no rapper, he's just an average man. If he sees a woman who comes in a room, a black woman who comes in a room, and she has on Louis Vuitton shoes, Louis Vuitton bag, expensive designer labels, he don't need no dating coach to tell him, bruh, she's out of your league. He already knows just on common sense, on observation, he can look at it and tell, if I get with this woman, if I try to build something with this woman, she's going to expect things out of me that I cannot deliver. So you know what? He's not even going to waste his time dealing with her. Because he's already knows she's going to expect him to be able to reach a certain level that he can't fulfill. Either he's going to get a woman that's on the same level as him, but wants just as much as he does. That way they can build together. Or he's just going to be single. Or he'll just deal with her, but only to hit her off every once in a while. But he knows relationship-wise, he will stress himself out getting with a woman on that level, knowing he's going to have to jump hurdles to please her. He's not going to take it there. This is where I say women differ from men. And men, guess what? Men don't need to call into another black woman to find out, why I'm making six figures and I can't meet a woman on my level. He already knows why. He knows. And this is what I'm saying. Black women, we are an embarrassment to ourselves because it's simple things that we should already know as grown ass women, and we're acting like little girls, like we can't figure it out. You know why you're single. It has nothing to do so much with your looks. It has everything to do with your mental psyche, your delivery. The fact that when a grown man sits down and tries to have a conversation with you, within 5 minutes, you come out your mouth with something stupid. I can perceive just on the few females that have called into some of these shows, I see why y'all single. And it don't take me having to listen to the whole damn live stream to figure it out. Just the type of questions you ask. We have black women who come in and ask the most dumbest damn questions. Why I can't find a good man? First of all, these dating coaches, they can only give advice based on your truth. And the truth of the matter is the reason why a lot of black women will never still be able to grow and progress, no matter how many shows they call in and get advice, no matter how many dating coaches or how many dating books they buy and purchase and the t-shirts and coffee mugs. You know why? A lot of us as black women, we're still wasting our time calling these shows because most of the time when you're calling, you're not asking questions based on truth. You're not really being transparent about what's really going on. You say you're saying just enough to get that advice that you want to hear. You're not really being truthful. And this how I know, because even as a black woman, I have had black female friends who will call and ask me for advice and not tell me the truth. For instance, I had a female friend who was going through a rough period in her marriage. She calling me and wanting to know, she can't understand why her husband is being so mean towards her. He's so disrespectful. She talked on and on and on about basically how her husband cheated on her. And she couldn't understand for the life of her why he stepped outside the marriage, why he was dealing with other women. Just set up, basically played the victim. All right. So I gave her advice based off of that information alone, because She didn't tell me everything. She only told me the parts that she wanted me to sympathize with her with. Come to find out, she brought it to my attention that she was the one who cheated on him first. And I'm like, really? All this time you had me giving you advice based on the fact that your husband was just cheating on you, but now you tell me the other side of the story that you were the one who stepped out on him first. So you had me give you advice based on the version of the story that you wanted me to believe. And that is what a lot of that's what a lot of black women are doing. I don't even know why y'all are calling and wasting people's time on giving y'all advice on love, on men, because a lot of times y'all are not going to be 100% honest anyway. You will call these dating coaches and say, I can't find a good man, but you don't tell them why. You don't tell them, well, I can't find a good man because I got 5, 6 baby daddies. And none of these men want to deal with my baggage. Or I cannot find a good man because I'm in a better place now. I'm making good money. So I feel like I can talk to them any kind of way. I feel like I can be disrespectful. I feel like, I'm the catch. So I can handle them the way I want to handle them. And they should still want to be with a woman on my level. We're not calling in telling the whole truth. So that advice that you're getting is going to be ineffective. Like I work in a jail. I work in a correctional facility. When I have inmates who come to me and need advice or need something or whatever, I always tell them, I can't give you real advice off of a lie. I could only give you real advice off the truth. Because if you're coming to me and you're giving me information, but it's not correct information, that advice that I'm giving you is not going to apply. And that's the problem with the majority of us as black women. We don't always come correct. Because really, the biggest issue is too many of us look for sympathy and empathy. And all black women out here who got black girlfriends, y'all know it's the God's honest truth. A lot of times your girlfriends call you, your single girlfriends call you, your married girlfriends call you. It's all about sympathy and empathy. They really don't want no advice. I've had black female friends who I'm no longer friends with who called me for advice. But because it wasn't what they wanted to hear, they got offensive or offended about it. A lot of sisters up here are in their feelings about these dating coaches who are becoming successful off of the mockery of black women. But guess what? That's not their fault. That's our fault. We allow ourselves to be pimped because the problem is too many black women. We are constantly seeking attention. We are seeking to be validated. And we are seeking to be accepted. You don't see black men going around here trying to look for black women to accept them. Now, you may have one or two, a few of these better males out here who want to earn the attentions of black women by acting like they care about black women and acting like they for black women. And to be honest with you, I honestly respect the guys that will go in on black women because at least he means it versus those like Derek Jackson who want to sugarcoat and act like they all for black women when really it's just a profit off of our delusions. So honestly, if I had to deal with a black man giving me any type of advice, I would rather be the one that's going to be keep it real and ridicule me than one that's just going to sit up here and stroke my delusions and pamper my low self-esteem by telling me you're a queen. I don't care if you got 6 or 7 baby daddies. I still want to look. A man should still treasure you. A man should still desire you. See, I don't like dudes like that because they are the ones who really set black women up for failure. But guess what? These are the ones that black women will support. They will support the brothers who will lie to them. So if you're going to get advice from these black men that are dating coaches for black women, it's better to get one from a man who's going to be harsh. He may be a little harsh in his delivery, but if he's keeping it real and telling you average, your demands are too high and you're not high enough to be expecting them kind of demands, it's better to get advice from that type of guy than to get advice from the one that's gonna lie to you and stroke your self-esteem, your low self-esteem, or stroke your bitter, broken ego and tell you you're a queen no matter what. They're gonna set you up for failure. But my thing is, this is another issue that I wanted to address. Like I said, the issue I just addressed was these needy women who are calling in asking advice that grown women already know the answer to. Okay. The other thing is, we as black women, we are also embarrassing ourselves due to the fact that we are constantly having an opinion on these dating coaches. Now, I was hanging out in the chat room on a particular show, which I'm not going to say. And it was like six guys on a panel and one female. And I could never understand why black women do this. Why the hell do you go on panels where you're outnumbered? And it's not a mixture of different genders on the panel. If I go on the panel, it's like 5, 6 guys, and I'm the only female. Automatically, I already know I'm setting myself up for a recipe for disaster, because it's common sense. You got 5, 6 guys on the panel, because this is what happened. I was peeping from the clouds. There was this sister that was on the panel with these 5, 6 guys. They asked her a question. Why does she have an issue with this certain particular dating coach? Okay, who's really hot in the game right now. Okay, because like I said, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not trying to cloud chase off of his name or whatever, and I don't even have it listed in my title because too many people are trying to cloud chase off this man's success, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get my success from scratch. That way, if it ever comes to a point where I really get up there, I'll know it'll be because of me, not because I'm beefing with somebody or because I'm using people's names on my titles and stuff or whatever. So anyway, they asked her a question about this particular dating coach. Okay. All right. They wanted her opinion as far as they want to know why she had a particular problem with him, because she made it very clear that she was not a supporter of his movement or his channel. So for one, that was the first mistake she made as a black woman. You cannot go on a show with the majority of black men and say that you have a problem with another black man. That was the biggest mistake that she made. You already know, as a black woman, when you go on the panel with the majority of black men and they ask your personal advice about a certain black male that's a popular content creator, knowing the majority of them on that panel support this man, and you're going to share your honest opinion by stating that you don't like the advice that he gives, you know they cornered her like a goddamn, like a poodle. It was like a couple of pit bulls who cornered her ass like a poodle when she was transparent, knowing that was not the time and that's not the place. And I need more black women to start doing that. Why y'all going on these male-dominated platforms and channels, having these conversations, knowing the moment that you say you have a problem with another black man, these brothers are going to go in on you? When she made that statement and they asked her, well, why do you have a problem with Mr. So-and-so who talks about black women? Why you got a problem with them? And honestly, her response, she wasn't nasty. She wasn't disrespectful. She was polite. Her reply was the reason that she did not like the advice that he was giving. She felt like, for one, he's getting big based on the fact of how he's finessing the game, because really basically her imply was, he's giving advice. I don't see why he's so big, because he's giving advice that people have already been saying for years. What is he saying that's so phenomenal? Because people have been saying it, which is true, because that's how I feel. I'm like, okay, he gets a standing ovation for saying black women do this, do that. I've been saying that shit from where I started, from since I started my channel. I've been saying black women are always looking for something that they don't have. I've been saying that, okay? I have not become a poster child because of it. And that's what she was saying. This one guy went in on her, all because she had a difference in opinion. And he said, no, you're just jealous. You're jealous because his channel is doing great. He's been successful. You just a typical hater. You just like the rest of these black women out here. You can't stand the truth. You can't handle the truth. You just hating on him. Da, 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 da. First of all, as a black woman, that was her fault. She set herself up to get attacked. I'm not going to go on the platform outnumbered, like I said, in the 7 or 8 other guys, knowing good damn well if I got an opinion about a black man, even if 3 on there could understand that I'm giving advice, not from a bitter black woman place, you better believe there's going to be 1 or 2 brothers on there that's going to come at me, because, again, it's about making a mockery out of some of black women. Some men just hate black women. And as a black woman, you are a fool to think you could change their mind. As black men, you don't see them trying to change our mind. Once a black woman says, well, I don't care for black men, or I don't want to be involved with black men, you will not catch a man go anywhere near her. You will not catch a black man go near her platform. You will not catch a black man go anywhere near her, because he already knows he's not going to be accepted based on how she talks ill of black men, based on how she treats black men. Men have enough sense not to go places where they know their heads are going to get chopped off. As black women, y'all steady be going places looking to get accepted, and again, it's about attention. When I see a woman on the platform with 6, 7 other dudes and ain't no other woman there, you seeking attention. It's about attention. I'm not going to go somewhere because I can't go in a room where just 5, 6 men there, and there's not at least 2, 3 other sisters where we all could collaborate, elaborate, and share different opinions from different genders. I'm going to go into a room full of masculinity and think that my feminist ass views is going to mean something. And this dude, he attacked her. He made her feel small by calling her a hater. First of all, as black women, you have to realize your opinion don't freaking matter when it comes to these masculine spaces. I'm tired of black women embarrassing themselves going to these masculine spaces with your feminist ass views, knowing these dudes are going to chop your goddamn head off. I've been said, Mocha, you want to come up and have your opinion? Hell no. Not when it's 5 or 6 y'all on there, because I know no matter what I say, it's going to be somebody on there that's going to make my opinion for bad. Even if I'm being respectful, if I'm being truthful, if I'm sharing my truth, and I'm not coming up there being loud-mouthed and talking over the guys, it's going to be one of those brothers in that group on that panel that's going to try to twist my narratives and say, see, that's what I'm saying, man. She a hater, man. She another typical bitter black woman, man. When are black women going to understand? Your opinion is not going to matter. Our opinion has not mattered since slavery. And it still don't matter to this day. Black women, you are still in slavery. I don't give a damn how many degrees you got. I don't care how much independent you are. If you're on your own business, you're still in slavery. Just like during slavery days. As a woman, your opinion didn't matter with the master, and your opinion didn't matter with the slave husband. You were small to the master, and you were small to the slave husband. You ain't get no say so, whether if you was picking cotton or whether if you was cleaning the master's mistress ass or whatever. Your opinion never mattered, and your opinion still don't matter to this day. Black women need to realize that it comes a point when you have to shut the hell up and stop always giving your opinion on how you feel. Because your feelings always get used against us, and it always has. I don't speak my opinion in all of these chat rooms like I used to. Because I know me just being black, me just being a woman, that's already a strike against me. When are y'all going to get it? You go in places trying to be accepted, and you're never going to be accepted. The quicker you understand that, the better. If you want to be accepted so bad, what you need to do is start your own platform, start your own movement, and make it a place for women like you who want to be accepted, who need acceptance. But don't build your platform off of a negative foundation like you male bashing and all this and that. Build a space for black women who really want to grow and elevate, who really want to find love. Build the space off of that. Instead of you infiltrating these male spaces looking to be accepted. Because no matter what you say, you're going to either come off, one, as a hater, or two, you're bitter, or three, you're an attention seeker. That's how you coming off as. How dare you think you're going to change the minds of 5-6 men on your panel, and the majority of them already have a problem with you just based on your profile picture. You don't look a certain way, you already have a strike against you. Or if you calm down and show the real you, unlike some of these other sisters, see, that's why a lot of these sisters, some of these sisters are being smart, they're not camming up. That's why a lot of these content creators, these female content creators, they know not to cam up. Because they know if they were to cam up, these same guys that are praising them are going to ridicule them for it. Because I've seen sisters cam up and be transparent, and as soon as they did it, they was ridiculed. Oh, look at her wig. Look at all that makeup. Okay, but at least I'm showing me. And it's the ones who's hiding their real faults and flaws. Those are the ones that are getting all the praises and all the recognition. So a lot of these women who ain't camming up, I don't blame them, because if they were to cam up, now these guys got something they can use against them. Long as you can put an avatar picture up and make yourself look good, guess what? You'll never have to worry about being ridiculed. So for those who are not camming up and just showing avatars, I don't blame them. Because keeping it real, it don't always pay off. I've seen the fake get more appreciation and accepted than people who are willing to really expose themselves and be transparent and put themselves out there. I've seen it all the time. As I stated, I'm tired of black women being an embarrassment. Y'all going in spaces trying to be accepted, sharing your opinion, knowing it's already certain individuals who got a problem with you because you're black and you're a female. I know me, I'm not going in those places and spaces. I've been invited to do live hangouts and panels. Ain't no way. I'm not about to go. That's like being a goddamn crip. And I'm going into a place and going into a room full of bloods. Black women, you ask yourselves, you set yourselves up to be disrespected all of the time. You set yourself up for failure. Knowing if you are, it's common sense. You already see how other black women are being talked to. Why would you go in a space or a place and call and ask for advice? Or go on platform sharing your opinion? You've seen how other black women have been disrespected going in them type of places. Me, I'm not comfortable going in a lot of spaces. That's why at my channel, you don't ever see a big panel over here. And you're not going to see that, because the more people you invite on your platform, eventually somebody's going to get disrespectful. Somebody's going to get out of line. Black women, the problem is a lot of us don't have confidence. And that's why you're going places to be accepted and to be appreciated and to be validated, because a lot of us don't have confidence. For two, you're looking to be accepted because you've been rejected so many places. You want to be accepted somewhere. Listen, just because some people are willing to invite you, that don't mean your ass got to goddamn go. Guess what? I've been invited to all kind of parties. Been given invitations, but guess what? I don't go to every occasion people invite me to. First of all, I'm not that desperate. I'm not that lonely, and I'm not that thirsty. You go to these places, people will invite you just to fight you. Okay? People will invite you just to set you up for failure. Now, this particular lady that was on the show, when she gave her opinion about this particular dating coach, somebody in the chat room had to bring up her situation by saying, she would have a problem with him speaking against black women because she's a single mother. This is another thing. A lot of y'all know y'all fit the epitome of the black female fuckery, and y'all the main ones that's going on the platform, going in chat rooms, speaking against the enemies who already got a problem with you in your particular situation. Now, she was a single mother. You know, somebody had to bring it up. Somebody threw it up in the chat room. I didn't even know she was a single mother till somebody brought it up. And that comes from you all over the place. You done told so much of your business. So these guys, they know you. So they feel like anything you got to say about a black man, it's only because you are the epitome of the fuckery he's always preaching against. You're a single mother. My thing is, if you know you're a single mother, why would you want to go in a chat room full of men who are always bashing single mothers? That's dumb. This is what I'm saying. I'm tired of black women embarrassing themselves. You're always seeking attention and you're going about it the wrong way. And you get embarrassed every time. And every time a black sister gets embarrassed, you know what that means? That means now we got the other black women got to work 10 times harder to prove that they don't fit the epitome of fuckery. Because it's the sisters that represent fuckery. Those are the main ones who be in these masculine spaces. You're wasting your time sharing your opinion, especially if you're going against the narrative. How dare you talk about how a black man, you're against a black man coaching black women, but you're one of the black women that most black men have a problem with because you're a single mother or whatever other issues they feel like you got. It's our fault. I'll say it again. As black women, it's our fault. We set ourselves up for failure. You're not woman enough to deal with your insecurities behind closed doors. You need to find you a church. You need to find you a strong support group, not one of those feminist support groups that's going to help you be more hateful and spiteful and ignorant. You need to find love and attention another way. Y'all calling into these shows on YouTube. Y'all hanging out in these platforms and these panels, room full of men who already don't like you just based on the wig or based on the makeup you have on. You are already at a loss before you even start. I need black women to stop feeling sorry for themselves. Stop looking for empathy and sympathy. Stop trying to find love and find acceptance. Learn to find your own self-worth. Because at the end of the day, it is not any of these men's fault why we keep falling short. The truth is, a lot of us are our own worst enemy. A lot of us as black women, we need to deal with issues from our childhood. A lot of us didn't have the pleasure of having fathers in our home. A lot of us have been cheated, doomed from the womb, because we've had mothers who brought us in this world who didn't teach us a goddamn thing, who didn't prepare us for womanhood. So we're out here trying to find ourselves and we're going about it the wrong way. It don't take you going to another grown ass man who cannot relate to everything that you go through as a woman to tell you what you need to do in your life as a woman. If you're over 30 years old by now, you should already have the basic fundamentals as to what it takes being a woman. For one, stop being a hoe. Stop being promiscuous. Let's start with the basics. Since some of y'all act like y'all don't know what it takes to find real love, okay, let's stop being a hoe. That's for one. Because a lot of of us as black women, we're going around here having casual sex, letting men raw dog you and leave you with babies that they don't want. That's the first thing. Second thing is, stop waving your independency in the air like it's a goddamn flag. If you're independent, it's going to speak for itself. You don't have to go around bragging about how many degrees you got, how much jobs you work, how much you make your own money, that you make your own payments on your 2020 Toyota Camry. If you are independent, just the way you carry yourself, he's going to know that. Off the muscle without you having to brag about it. 3, stop having all these kids for multiple men. You depreciate and value when a man meets you and realizes that you got more goddamn baggage than the Greyhound bus. It's basic fundamentals. I don't have to go to a goddamn dating coach to figure that out. 4, have a relationship with God. A lot of women need a spiritual makeover. Y'all running and getting surgeries. Y'all running and getting wigs. Y'all running and getting makeup. Y'all getting all of these things altered to your body. But what y'all are not altering is your spiritual well-being. You have to use your spiritual muscles. You connect with God and have a relationship with God. He will send you the right man the right way. But what has happened is we have reached a level of desperation now to where we're looking for dick on YouTube. Y'all looking for YouTube dick. Y'all going in male spaces, hanging out with all these grown ass men, hoping you'll be noticed and hoping you'll get some recognition. All this clout chasing. I am tired of black women embarrassing themselves. You're looking desperate. Every time you call in these shows, you're looking desperate. And guess what? While you're thinking you're going on these shows to get advice, what you're doing is you're entertaining. You're entertaining. You become entertainment. You become the new minstrel, as I stated earlier. So while you're helping these coaches get their views up, your value is going down. Your value as a black woman is depreciating because you're coming off as desperate. You're coming off as aloof. You're coming off as ignorant because you don't have enough common sense to know that it's just basic things that you need to do as a woman to change your life in order for you to meet a decent companion. You need advice? Go to older women, not the older women who got 6, 7 kids, 6, 7 baby daddies. Go to older women who have been married for 30, 40 years. Those are the ones that will give you the best advice. I promise you. They will teach you what it takes to be submissive. They will teach you what it takes to be loving and caring and nurturing for a black man. Talk to older black women who have been with their black men for 40, 50 years. Now, I ain't talking about the older women who on their 3rd and 4th and 5th husband. They don't count. Those are just retired hyenas. I'm talking about these older women that can prove and show based on how they have lived their lives. They know what it takes to get a good black man because they've been with one for 30, 40, 50 something years plus. Sometimes old school advice is the best advice. All these new dating coaches, they can't teach you anything because for one, a lot of these dating coaches ain't been married. Okay? That's for one. For 2, they can't relate to you because they're the opposite sex. That's it. You don't see no grown black men around here calling in Mocha. Man, I don't know what's going on, man. I work my ass off. I got a good job. I look good. I dress nice. And I don't know why I can't get no woman. I don't know why women don't want me. Why women don't love me. Why I can't find a wife yet. I make good money. I drive nice cars. I own 5, 6 pair of gator shoes. I got 5, 6 Armani suits. I own my own company. And I still can't get no good woman. I can't get no woman who gonna love me for me. I don't see no grown black men calling no black women. asking us them damn weak ass better male questions. I'm over it. I'm so tired of black women embarrassing us. I am so tired of y'all embarrassing us. You're making us look weak. You making us look foolish. You making us look drama filled. I'm just so over it. Anyway, I'm done with ranting. That's all I had to say. Anybody want to comment? Good or bad, I would accept it. I would deal with it. But I just had to put it out there. Black women, stop embarrassing us. Okay? All right? I'm out. Bye.